Welcome to today's episode of Open Tabs, our twice weekly Substack Live, where we talk about all the things taking up space in our tabs, our feeds, and of course, our brains. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
Hi, happy Tuesday.
Happy
Okay.
Tuesday.
So,
Tuesday, you too.
um, fun topics for today. So, first one, I wanted to chat with you guys about this article. We included it in our Monday Cultural Gems roundup, but wanted to chat through it live with you guys. Is the grid dead? How young people are changing the feed from Dazed. So it's all about they're calling it ghost posting, and it's a bunch of young Gen Zers who are posting to Instagram and then immediately archiving it, and then after a few days, a few weeks, unarchiving it. So it's basically they want to curate a vibe on their Instagram accounts without their content being like sent out in the algorithm. And they're calling it like make their Instagram grid like mood boards, which I thought was very fun. And it also ties to your piece that you wrote for us last week, Megan, about like Pinterest getting a little bit AI, but people still wanting to like curate a vibe somewhere. And I think it's an interesting way young people are using Instagram right now.
It always comes back to we miss guides. Because I used to do that. Remember, guys? I used to curate my Sunday saves as a guide, and then I would be like, put why I saved it and like what I liked about it. And yeah. So this is like an evergreen behavior, I feel like. And it's just interesting how no matter what, they'll use the algorithm to their advantage and do what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, I feel like I'm hearing feedback from your computer. Or I don't know if it's
Me.
voice mine, maybe. I don't know. I'm hearing anyway. Um, no, I was just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like I think that Instagram, like the experience is so limiting and sort of boring in general. Um, And I do think I know more recently they've sort of given these different tools where you can move stuff around on your grid. Um, but it still remains that like even if I'm talking about it from my own personal perspective, okay? So like my account is private. I've gone through my followers multiple times, purged a lot. I'm probably due for a purge because I do want it to keep it I want to keep it small and to like people who I like pretty much know actually know. Um, and for being on this platform for so long, and then now I have three kids, whose stuff I share on there as, again, among friends. This has really evolved into a different experience, right? It's like it is a living photo album of my family, essentially. And it's cool because it's definitely an evolution of classic photo albums or what is it? Not collages, but when you guys know what I'm talking about.
Scrapbooks.
Scrapbooking. Yes, thank you. Exactly. It's like a version of scrapbooking, right? So there's like components of food I've eaten and like places I've gone and all of that. And it's like taken me through my engagement, my wedding, my honeymoon, and all of that, married 10 years now on here. And it still remains that, like, this Friday is my youngest third birthday. And I have a whole bunch of posts that I want on the grid that I actually want more for me. Like, I just want to see what they look like from our summer that we've had. We've had this like epic summer. And I feel so constrained by this like big, weird, nonsensical likes and like time to post and like whatever. And it feels so weird to me. And I have sort of weirdly reassured myself. Now I'm telling you guys literally conversations I have in my own head. Okay. So I'm like, don't worry, like you can just post a single photo. Like that's okay. And like I did a single photo of Lucy a couple weeks ago and it didn't get a ton of likes. And I was sort of like angry about I was just like, ew. And like, why do I care? Really? Like it is a really beautiful photo of her. And if you compare it to other posts I've done, which are these deep, more complicated, like scroll through look backs. Like I just did one that was, this month marks 4 years of being in California. And so it was this whole multimedia mix of stuff. So then I'm like, well, am I just not setting her up for success? And I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, what is this whole weird dialogue I'm having in my head? And so I don't have the answer because what I will say is that I do think people find comfort in rules and restriction, right? Sometimes it is like, here's your medium, here's your canvas, and like, this is the limitation of it, and this is what you do on it. But I just can't help, and you're right, Megan, it always goes back to Instagram guides. For me, like, I just feel like this platform, if it's going to set itself up for this is the platform. Like we are all using it. It is the archive. We are pouring years of our lives on here. I just feel like it could be so much better. Like, I don't know. Like, even if there were certain tools that allowed you to do certain things, I just am like, could you guys try less? Like, I don't know. But that's
Yeah, I also think what you're speaking to is kind of like you are using Instagram for your photo album, but the Instagram machine is built for influencers, content creators, and brands as like a scoreboard for them to measure their success. And I feel like you're saying it's gone to the point where it's just so disconnected from how you're using the platform that it is no longer like fun, essentially.
right. Well, and I feel like it can serve multiple things in multiple ways. Like, you guys know how I have felt about sharenting and all of that.
Hmm.
It really is like, though, it's obviously why it works, right? It taps into some sort of like natural thing that we have in ourselves, like want to share our kids, right? Like that's been over history, right?
You're proud of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it also becomes like 90% of what I'm thinking about, right? Like it just kind of
Mhm.
is. So,
Yeah.
and you want to find community around that or whatever. And I just feel like there could be like, yes, there's a whole world where there's like the discoverability engine of Instagram, but like, could it become a different thing for different places and different things? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, that to me is so much more compelling of a concept of a metaverse than what I feel like the original concept had been.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's more similar to like what the OG purpose of Instagram was, which was like sharing photos with like your close personal friends. And it's
Mhm.
something that a lot of the Gen Zers in the piece echo too. They want to like post and show their lives without being like perceived. Like perceived was a big word that came up. They didn't want to like have likes, engagement, like that in the back of their head. So archiving and then unarchiving weeks later kind of like removed that burden from them. I also think it was really interesting calling it like a mood board. I listened to an interview that Paige Paul, formerly Paige Lorenz, did about starting Dairy Boy. And she said it's like the Dairy Boy Instagram account she had had for years and it was private and she used it as a mood board and she just like posted things privately on this Instagram account that she thought was cool, liked the vibe of. That vibe then became Dairy Boy and then
And she made that private one
yeah,
public.
yes, and changed the handle to Dairy Boy. And then she's like, I had a whole curated vibe and mood board already built when I launched the account publicly.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, personally, I have toyed with doing that myself so many times. I just think that like the mental bandwidth though that at least I have right now, my capacity for it is so little. Like And that's another thing, like, even with content output, like, it's a ton of work. Like, I don't care what anybody says. If you're gonna make, like, again, we do this with Swell a lot right now, and it's like, I helped do 2 posts last week that I was in charge of, and, like, we were both, like, seemingly benign ideas. Like, one of our friends sent a bunch of stuff from Costco, and we're talking again, stuff we love. Costco makes a ton of sense. And then the other post was just, the Lionsgate manifestation portal was closing on the 12th. So I was like, I actually used chat to come up with, like, just prompts that people can use, right? And, like, between these 2 posts, like the Costco one, like I mean, you guys know, it's like, imagine somebody sends you a bunch of photos of their stuff at Costco, and you're like, okay, well, like, I know at some point you sent me a selfie of yourself. There's a reason why we picked these 2 friends. It's hilarious. They go to Costco together. And so I was like, I'm gonna call them Costco correspondents. And of course, like she sent random photos of stuff, but I'm like, well, this doesn't mean anything unless we feel like connected to them. We need to introduce them. Um, so like it became like a narrative, and like the front of the scroll is like our friend Meta in a bell tib shirt, which is like the merch that we sell. And then the last one is a photo of the 2 of them, Meta with her best friend Jenna with a hot dog. And like the hot dog is so iconic because it's in Costco and like whatever. And so I wanted it to feel like really thoughtful and like going through each item. And then like, again, I'm doing this with my 2 friends, Carly and Jenny. So like they had a certain aesthetic that they'd been jiving with. So I was like, okay, I'll do as great graphics, like how you do it. And then, the independent, like the multi-caption thing. I mean, you guys, uh, it took so long. It must have taken me like over 2 hours to like pull this together. And this was not something like, the bulk of the capture content was done. Like she sent it to me in 5 minutes, but like getting the capture, I don't know. And it's just like, I wish there was a way that made this feel, and I think like Tumblr really tried to do this. Honestly, I think this was like a big Tumblr thing, which was like life casting, I think they called it. And it was like made more like lo-fi, just post, like take a pic and post it, like, and again, creating that mood board and creating that like freedom. And so I don't know where the line is at all, but I just like, maybe like the work that it takes to do Instagram is part of what it is. I don't know, but I just am like, why is this so much work? And like, this is so dumb. And like, it doesn't feel like the payoff is there. Like, it shouldn't, I don't know. I mean, like, again, we're doing a brand new account, whatever. But like, it's so much of our work, and this is just like something I've been sitting with lately too. I'm like, you can be as strategic and smart, and like, then there's just this like element of luck, which is like luck, yeah, try an algorithm. And like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm having a lot of like existential thoughts around all of this. And like, where is one's time best spent? Like if this is the time, and what is the payoff, and what should a payoff look like? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if I'm like, okay, I look at my phone and it's like, you spent 500 hours on Instagram all year. Well, at least I'd want like a photo album of everything that I did, not just like sporadic posts that were driven by my like anxiety and shaped and decided by how many likes I would get. Something really weird going on with all this. I don't know. I just have gone on such a big
Oh,
tangent.
no. It reminds me, I don't know if you guys have seen Ellie Ellis, the girl who just went like mega viral on TikTok. Her
Mm-mm.
first TikTok that she posted, she's like a high school girl. She's British. She's like maybe 16, 17. She posted a get
Mhm.
ready with me, just her doing her makeup. And she really, in the video, she's like, "Oh, I just feel like I'm like too introverted. My friends, I have 6 followers. They're all my friends. I just like, this is me like doing a baby step of putting myself out there more." And like,
It's crazy viral.
it got millions and millions of views. I think she's close to 500,000 followers on TikTok now. Just
I
posted.
don't know why it's so dumb. Like,
Well,
But
I think
I also,
it made me think of what you've always said, Megan, about like TikTok historically has like picked its representatives and like ambassadors. So like similar, it just reminded me a lot of like the rise of Charlie D'Amelio and how like I was like, oh, did they just go, oh, this 16-year-old girl in England, like,
who's deciding that? Yeah.
yeah, like the algorithm something just,
I also think we have this weird social thing though, where we don't like people who are asking for attention. And like the fact that she was saying like, "Hey, this is only for my 6 friends," I think played into part of why she blew up. Like in like honestly kind of a little bit of a negative way where people are like, "Oh, well, this is fun now because we're giving her more than what she wanted." It's like we're
yeah,
taking her out of what she asked for, like in a weird, like I always talked about this with Addison Rae. She wanted to be a musician. She came out and she like had a few songs and everyone was so mean to her that she was like, "I'm not doing this." And then there was like a wave of like people being like, "Wait, no, we actually like it. Addison, please come back. Please make music." And then she came back. But like, I think had she just stuck with it, people wouldn't like her as much as they do. But like, it's because she pretended she didn't want it for a little while.
well, I think it goes to Gen Z's thing of like not wanting to be perceived that they're trying hard at something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that also goes to this ghost posting thing of like they don't want to come across like they're trying to hit the algorithm. Like, I'm just creating a
Yeah.
mood board for me. It's like you could do that
Nonchalant.
not on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it like, yeah, goes to this weird thing where they're terrified of people thinking they want something and like are trying hard. I think that's like why Addison, like, partially why her initial, like, music didn't do well because, like, she was talking about how badly she wanted it, and I think
Yeah.
they were like, "Well, F that."
Yeah.
Um, but it's interesting. I'm, like, a little bit nervous for this girl. I'm like, they're gonna turn on her. I don't wanna manifest that, but I've seen how it goes on TikTok, especially.
Totally.
It's interesting. Okay. Second topic that we wanted to talk about, are the Savannah Bananas now a PR stop? Um, in case you guys missed it or you're not, keeping up with the Savannah Bananas, like, how would I describe them? It's like theater meets baseball. They're hyper viral on Instagram and TikTok, very good baseball players, and they break into song and dance in the middle of their games, and now it's like a full-blown league. It's called Banana Ball, and I think they have 6 different teams now. It used to just be the Savannah Bananas, but now I think they have 6 different teams. And earlier this week, Kristen Bell performed live at a game. She sung Love is an Open Door from Frozen. And this is all in like prep of Frozen 3 is building up. Disney just had their D23 event where they like teased some of it. And immediately after that, she is performing live with the Savannah Bananas. And as of recording this right now, it has 3.8 million likes and over 24 million views just on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, is this like performing at a Savannah Bananas game gonna be the new like hot ones for anyone who's releasing like content for kids?
Yeah. I think that's a really smart ask because this is definitely like it has potential based on just this alone. And I actually like one of the first times we talked about the Savannah Bananas, I think Melissa, you compared them to Walt Disney. And then since then they've only gone further in bed with Disney. So like I feel like Disney definitely agrees that there's parallels there. And then in this clip that I saw with Kristen Bell and Frozen, the kids you just see they're like some of them are like confused or like not impressed, whereas like the adults are like losing their minds over
Yeah.
it. And I think like that's what strikes me about the Savannah Bananas is the multi-generational aspect of it all, where it's like, yes, there's the kids, but I also think that there's something there around like it being a place for parents to get bought in and also very much leading into like nostalgia. because I feel like Frozen is now like a nostalgia thing. So I feel like you saw a lot of the parents being way more excited, even if it's like that kid, like nostalgia for when that kid who's now 13 was little. Like it's still very much a nostalgia play for the parents, and so I think that that arena is perfect for nostalgia plays specifically.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think Kristen Bell is also like she's sort of like a millennial poster child. Like she's sort of like this woman who seems like she doesn't age kind of character who can almost do anything. Like she's a mom and she's like an actor, a highly successful actress, and she can sing and she's in a Disney movie. But oh, she can sing live in a stadium too. Like, okay, so I can see why people would geek out over her also, like as an adult. Yeah, I mean, I am you're I yes, Megan, to everything you were just saying about Savannah Bananas and Disney. I think I started going off on this before, like on our prep call, but want to know what the Savannah Bananas strategy is? Also, it's that I don't even know, like, I feel like their strategy, and this is something I've actually started thinking about with clients too, and this is like really like I think shifting how I think about digital strategy, honestly. And like it's always been a component, but now it's become like the forefront, honestly. And it's really leading with communities, like and audiences and like very specific group of people around certain things. And I think that that is so evident in how the Savannah Bananas are evolving. Like it's so smart. Like you nail getting people into stadiums. Okay, so like check one, like which is so hard. Like I mean, even these Major League Baseball teams that are like these are their home stadiums, they can't always fill them. Okay, so the fact that Savannah Bananas can like fill a stadium is like insane. But two, again, like when they hired Derek Klena, who is the Savannah Banana who can both sing, oh, it's just us, who can both sing and play baseball. And he was a Broadway star. I mean, that like completely changes that entertainment experience. Like, and if you look at any of their content, and it's all so made for social media. Like they have their social media start with Jackson Olsen, who has literally, I don't know if this was intentional or if it's just how it's happened, but he has been seeding Taylor Swift since the beginning. He is literally Taylor Swift. Like his
I think there was a time on TikTok where that was the secret to virality. It was like the Swifties ran TikTok, and if you did anything, especially like if you were a man saying you like Taylor Swift, everyone was like, "Yes, we love this."
Yeah,
And he really
exactly.
capitalized on that.
100%. And he still runs with that. Like his walk up song,
Mhm.
Swift, he has made Taylor Swift part of his identity and he is literally seeding the moment. I mean, he has over 1 million followers on Instagram. His girlfriend is Maggie Sajak. So it's Pat Sajak's daughter, who's also got sort of her own
Yeah.
social following. And he's going to be on Dancing with the Stars, Disney. Like he's also a Disney adult. So like, where we have Jesse, who has created Savannah Bananas. Jackson is like his player that is like the physical representation of like connecting to Disney.
The model citizen, like you're
Model
saying.
citizen. Exactly. So like
Yeah.
whether or not it ever comes to fruition, they have completely laid the groundwork for like a Taylor Swift something with this.
Yeah.
And, like, there is, I would make a very high, like if they continue to do what they're doing right now, there will be a moment where she sings at one of their games and it's going to like blow up everybody's minds.
I think something that people don't realize about celebrities is they're performers and they love to perform. Like they love it. Like I think part of why that video is going so viral is because you can tell that Kristen Bell is loving the moment. Because like think about it, how often is she singing to a stadium of people like that who are like so excited and overjoyed to see her, and she just gets to pop in normal clothes, sing, and like not that it's just like that it was obviously amazing, but I think it's a very attractive press opportunity. Whereas like some of these other press opportunities, the ROI is there. Like you would say, this is going to go viral. But in the room doing it, the celebrities are like, really? I got to play this stupid game. I got to eat these chicken wings. Whereas like this feels like something celebrities would actually be excited to do, you know?
Totally. Well, and I mean, I think what's neat is that they're also building the case to build up the other teams. Like, okay,
Mhm.
how hard is this? Like, you find another
Yeah.
star, or you move them to other teams. Like, you get Derek completely like part of the establishment. You get Jackson, and then oops, he gets traded to the firemen. And
Yeah.
then you're like building up an entire new roster, and then like it's like the same idea of sports, but like applied to like other talent mediums. You know what I mean? And like it,
Yeah.
and the limit does not. Sorry, the limit does not exist. Like think about all of the different kinds of like performers you can have out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you said, though, is really interesting around like they're going for fandom specifically. And right now they seem focused on Disney adults because something that I'm running up against a lot when it comes to audience selection is brands are like, but we want to be for everyone. And I think that they feel like catering to a specific fandom is kind of going to alienate other fandoms. But I don't know if that's the case. What do you think?
I know. I mean, I think mm, I think we are this idea of like collabs, right? Because that's really what
Hmm.
it's collabs, but now it's on like a larger scale. Okay. Um, I think it's still so new that I don't know. I think like the more like the intrigue of it is too exciting right now to like worry about sort of turning one fandom off from the other. And I feel like it's
Hmm.
so few and far between that like I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much benefit and there's too much like I feel like it's so new that I wouldn't get too worried about it. I
Yeah.
think I'm more excited about the actual like creativity and like what is that like experience like for the people attending, Like if you
Yeah.
think about it, creativity I experience like for the people attending. Oh my god, I'm hearing myself again. Sorry, I was just gonna say like another one that comes to mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, they could totally do like monster truck rallies. They could do like WWE. They could do like, I mean, there's so much fun you could have with this. Also, like, I think if there's certain franchises that need like a refreshment or a revival, like, oh my god, like how about our old friend Cirque du Soleil? Yeah. Cirque du Soleil, or like, you know, um, like there's so many fun things you could think about, especially because Savannah Bananas kind of have the magic right now. And yeah, you're so right. Everything is genius. And like, oh my god, like imagine if they planned it and you could buy a ticket and you knew Kristen Bell was going to be there. It would be insane. Um,
Yeah. I also think that when you do successfully activate in one of these fandoms and they love it, that is what catapults you to like the next echelon of internet fame. So if you're really looking for internet breakthrough, like that's a good strategy to do it. Like go all in on one fandom and then go viral within that fandom and then it breaks out to the larger internet.
I think I like as of right now, where I stand on the Savannah Bananas, having again in the one game, they now televise it. I mean, it's pretty well done televised too. Like it's you know, I do think like my thoughts although was like, how are they going to keep this ship up? um, and I can see it like I mean, it is pretty cool, but I do wonder like what is the I don't know like how they play. Like I don't know if it's like planned that someone wins. Um,
They just announced today that they're doing the Banana Bowl, which is like their championships, I guess. And they're I don't know. I think it's in September. They're doing it in DC and it'll be like 6 games. And tickets are being sold via a lottery system, which I thought was interesting because there was such high demand for it.
well, they're trying to keep it theoretically like priced. I mean, it would be so smart again if like it'd be cool if like Ticketmaster really like partnered with them in like a meaningful way and like made sure that they didn't get scalped and all of that. But the problem is that it is so hard to get a ticket. Like, it's very hard to do it. Um, I mean,
I want someone to do a study of like what turns a kid into a fan. Cause like I feel like that's the answer here of like what are the beats that like go from like, oh, this is something I'm interested in to like this is something I care about and like becomes part of my life and a tradition. And like I don't have like the answers and like I can kind of point to the things. Like I feel like they need to get into merch and like that needs to be something. Like I feel like they or like collecting cards, like baseball cards, but more
their
like
merch
Pokemon style.
their merch game is pretty good, and I will say, like, we played the coconuts, which on the game we went to, and, like, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm more of a fan of the coconuts than the Savannah Bananas," 'cause it's, like, beach and, like, fun and whatnot, but yeah, like, you're right. I think clearly what they're doing is that they're building out personalities on all the teams. It's like the Kardashian method. Like, they're building out people who have their own social media followings and that they're very visually identifiable and they have like a shtick that they do, right? Like, there's one player on the Bananas, KJ. And he's definitely like it was totally like he's being positioned as like another Jackson Olsen kind of. And so they do tons of collabs together, those two. And like even when he comes up to plate, it's a lot of audio repetition and it's all through like their walk-up songs, right? And they do this thing and they go, "Hey, KJ." So then it's like stuck in your head. It's this like earworm. And then like suddenly I'm like going to follow KJ on Instagram while I'm at the game. And now I'm like following him and I know he has a new girlfriend. It's like this whole thing. So you get caught up into like, it's almost like the sports-ish of it, like because they're all sort of
Mhm.
already, the players are like, it's it's interesting. Like, I wonder what their social media contracts are. It's probably like a next evolution of like what the Bravo fandom has like sort of established, right? It's like another like I'm sure if you sign on, you're supposed to post on Instagram often. And like they probably have consultants and all the stuff that like help you come up with content and they help you post and they like do all the stuff because it's such a huge component of the machine of what the
Yeah.
Savannah Bananas are. And that's how the parents are like, people who will pay to take their kids to the games. Like the parents are becoming the fans first. And it's like outside of just the games themselves, it's like a huge part of this is like they're multimedia stars, essentially. Um, I think you're right though, Megan, in that where it gets unclear for me is that if you were it where's the line between a fan of like a performance versus I'm gonna follow a team to see how they do. Because it's really like blurred lines of like this is entertainment and I'm going to a show and I'm gonna go do this versus like a team is in a series of a serious competition and there's physical component to this and like they might win or lose. I think right now, I'm um, I think right now in the creation of this IP, I think that they are building it up to something that will change. And
Mhm.
I suspect because they do hire people who are actual like athletes, like, right? Like they're not just performers on the like they're not just like, again, gymnasts that are doing stuff. Like they're actual people who have come through baseball. I think because they're doing that, I think that they're building the case and they're building up the fandoms and awareness of all of the teams enough so that there are people that will pay to go and see these other teams that are not Savannah Bananas. So I hope that it really does become like a sports thing. Like I think it's really neat this idea of like, oh my God, you can learn how to do a backflip and catch a ball. Like that's pretty neat. Like, I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I think like building real stakes. I don't know how they'll do that or if it's possible really to get beyond like the gimmick of it all. They're trying to expand. They recently introduced like a female. She's like Princess Banana or something, and it's definitely for like the little sisters that are dragged to games.
I think she starts all the games. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's like
Belle from Beauty and the
looks
Beast.
like a yellow like Princess Belle dress, like a ball of and I saw a video, she was like performing a duet with the Derek, the like Broadway guy. She has an amazing voice, but like it's definitely like they're like, okay, we maxed out on little boys. Like we have all the bells and whistles for the little boys, and how do we get the little girls?
There's a lot of players that are women too now. Like there are like Savannah, I don't know. I think on the actual Savannah Bananas, I think that I think at least one woman on the team who were like professional softball players. And then I know Coconuts has that too. So it is definitely evolving with women in mind. 100%.
I feel like they have to think about the stakes to what you were saying, Emma, not being competition or like the sport element of it. Like it's like that is kind of the container, but I don't think that's where the stakes are going to come from. And earlier, Melissa, you mentioned Dancing with the Stars. And I feel like they almost need to take more cues from that. Like, I feel like they've got all the cues they can take from baseball. Now they need to look at like a dance competition. And I was thinking about last season of Dancing with the Stars, which was huge. And like, Melissa, you clocked early that it was going to be like, you were like, there's something different about this season. I don't know. And then it was like the hugest season ever. And I feel like part of it was that Alex Earl really wanted to win. Like we saw Alex like genuinely wanted to win. And now like looking back, I can see that she was like kind of in a rough moment in her life where she needed a win. And that's where that came from. But I feel like that she brought those stakes. Like it wasn't just like, oh, it's a competition. The stakes came from like us being invested in this influencer who wanted something that she wasn't able to get just by buying it like she does everything else. And so I feel like the Savannah Bananas need to think about what are their stakes? What is here for these players that they need to get more than, and I don't know, there's something there that they need to figure out. I feel like
I
they will.
totally agree. That's like what WWE does. I feel like it's like the personal relationships are
The stakes.
and like the interpersonal drama, even though it's all, manufactured and scripted, and like the wrestling and is secondary. I remember I was like trying to follow it for a bit and like it makes no sense. Like who gets belts, like the like wrestling aspect of it makes no sense, but they have clear storylines with each of the characters that like continue on week to week. And then they also have it playing out on social media in between. So yeah, I feel like there's something there they could do.
I feel
agree.
like
to your point, Melissa, about like competition, they should have like similar to like what Cat's Eye did. Like they should document the like bringing on of new players and have like audience voting and all of that. That's what they should do.
They definitely should. $1 million idea.
That is that is so interesting. I remember I agree with you, and it was interesting when we went down to San Diego for this whole thing. We were at the Dell, which is like this kind of well-known San Diego hotel. And a couple of the moms, there were like some older moms there, and like they were all there to support their mom friend's son, who was the new pitcher for the Coconuts. And we were like, oh my God, like, how did he get on that? Like, how did he do it? She was like, he was actually like coaching and like helping people with pitching, and he thought he was going to be too old. He's like too old to be a player, but he played in college. And there were like hundreds of people that showed up for this tryout. And like, I don't know if it was like Savannah Bananas, but like it was like whatever it was. And she was like, I don't know. I think that everyone just kind of rallied around him and they were like, you should just do it. Because I think that they also have like older players too. Like it's supposed to break down, I think, like all expectations. You could be older, you could be on stilts, you can be like a woman, you can, whatever. You can do all, like, it's like open to everybody kind of thing. But I think you're right. Like both of you are so right. Like $1 million idea, Emma, and like B, Megan, your point of like this idea of the stakes. It's like I so badly want them to figure that out. Oh, and Emma's point, but yes, like just Not the Dancing with the Stars, though. That's more of what I was referring to with you. But like, yes, Emma, correct. Just the fact that like I just feel like for this to have longevity, it has to have like a real competition to it. And I feel like I so badly want it to be like an athletic thing. Like I want it to be real baseball. I don't know. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how their like first championship goes and how they navigate that, like the competition within that. But yeah, I feel like we're just gonna see more and more like celebs at their games going forward. So yeah, be very interesting to see how it goes. But thank you guys. Fun convo as always.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much. Talk to
Bye.
you later.
Bye.
Bye.